hope everybody has exorcised all of their demons over this retrograde period because this is the week that Mars changes signs. And because of the retrograde, we have had Mars in one of only two signs since like September 2024. Yeah, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been so long, you guys. Life is just life is not even life in 2024, September 2024 doesn't even exist. That was before deny, defend, depose. That was before so many world-changing things already. So it's like this is gonna feel like a very big shift. Everyone just gird your loins because Monday and Friday are the biggest kind of just like really big important days of the week. Now listen, there's going to be something going on astrologically every day for these last couple of weeks of June. And we're still reeling from like the after effects of what happened over this past weekend that you're coming into this weekly with. I'm talking about the weekend of June 13th, 14th, and the 15th. So this week, first of all, the week after the full moon is the busiest week of every month. So it's going to be a very busy week. And this is just like either the next big important phase or the last phase or just like the next phase of some kind of really, really, really big transition. This is like not just like moving from one location to another location. This is like the end of an era, a paradigmatic shift. Okay, it's like that kind of a shift, that kind of a change, that kind of a transition. So that's why I'm saying, like, I hope everybody has exorcised the demons because the energy of this week, I feel that people are going to be very excited if you've been working really hard at something and just like spinning your wheels for the last 6 months. Like it's been hard, but you're excited because there's been breakthroughs, there's been momentum, there's been realizations, the cazimi that we had, the crazy May lunation. Yeah, like the May lunation, the end of May, like the big insights, revelations, conversations, whatever it had to be, that the universe has been dropping for you along the way as that vision of the new future for yourself gets more and more filled out, where people didn't know what was what at the end of last year. And so it needed to be like, okay, what's it kind of looking like? Okay, I can kind of see where it's looking and where it's going. So it's either like, oh, yay, right? Or I'm seeing another camp of people on the other side of the spiritual split that on the other side, people could have just been really stressed out for the past 6 months and just the anxiety has been just off the rails for like months and months and months and months. That's like more of like the wounded, insecure camp. So those are kind of like the two camps that I'm seeing right now. And this kind of comes down to what you really believe in. What guides your life? I know, but it's like just it's big picture, but it's moment to moment. What do you believe about your life? And it's not just like beliefs about what happens after we die, but also beliefs about just like attitudes and behaviors and perspectives and just those kinds of beliefs that will end up telling you how you're feeling right now. Well, maybe because there's some pissy energy coming up. Like some people are going to be so pissy and then some people are going to be so excited. And this is just like the thing. It's like some people are going to be so irritated, like just under the skin, irritated. And then some people are going to be like, I'm just going to rip it up and but excitedly, wanting to like go and get at something. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for this week. And like I said, we're in a lunation that is a transitional energy. The mutable signs are about transitioning from one season into the next season. We have the summer solstice this week. So this is just kind of like helping that transition along. So it's like you've been seeing the future and really resisting it, or you've been trying to lead the charge and trying to get people on board and trying to like show your vision to so over the past 6 months, for instance, I found a way to, I got the title for my telekinesis documentary. So like certain things came together, but like it was a long, hard fucking 6 months. My friend died, my best friend died, as you guys know, here on YouTube. So that pulled, I'm like here trying to do my telekinesis stuff. And you can't, if you got to like step off and heal and go through something, whether that's like grief or a breakup or a disappointment or whatever, like you can't do psychic feats. Thank God it didn't interrupt any of my like client work and stuff like that. Because that was one of my like remote viewing is just so much, it's so much easier for me. So, but like, think about the past 6 months, what has been kind of anxiety producing, because that is what you should have cleaned up in the spring. Like the winter, like January, February, March, April was the time to like triage, like the birds, like to really, okay, this is the fix. Okay, so by the time you get to June, and what I've been telling you guys since September 2024 is to watch out for and to prepare for, and that everything that we're doing is to prepare for the end of the first week of June 2025. This is why. See, everything I do, everything I say, we're going somewhere here, okay? So this week, the week after the full moon in Sagittarius, is going to be a little bit more of shocking people and surprising people. Like people are going to be very surprised at, and this is how the week starts. Like the week starts like on Monday morning with like it's exciting. It's going to be very exciting. Okay, so that's the overall for this week. Very, very transitional, very much about the new era, when I say new government, I mean, these readings are for you guys on the individual level. I'm not talking about the collective level. I mean, there's a different delineation for the collective. I'm talking to you, I'm speaking to you as an individual. My channel is for individuals. The Patreon is for energy masters and leaders. YouTube guys are at the very least individuals. Okay, if you're attracted to my energy, if my little lightning bug light is like buzzing and you're like buzz, and we're like buzz, and we're in the same little vibration, you're an individual. Okay, so that's what this whole week speaks to. So when I say like a new government, I'm talking about like your government, you marshaling your energies and your life and how you've got your life organized, because you are transitioning some big era or epoch, or reinventing yourself or some areas of your life. And so that's what I'm speaking to. Okay, let's break this down day by day. Monday, the 16th of June. This is the last full day of Mars in Leo. So we've had Mars in Leo and Cancer since September 2024. And so Monday is all about like wrapping this up. Like, what do we have to do? What do we have to say? Who do we got to talk to? What's got to be filed? Who's got to be notified? What's got to, like that kind of a day. And it like the morning just starts really like people are going to be waking up and be like, wait, you want me to what? Who's going to be here? Like, it's going to be a very like people, it's going to be like it's going to be like a thing. Like people are going to be now some people are going to be really excited come Monday morning. Some people are going to be just like, like very excited to dig into whatever your thing is. So Monday, it's like everyone's focusing on even like a fix, even if it's like we're stepping into this new system because the old payment processing system was always messing up and it was always doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people are going to be very, very excited to heal, to repair something. Someone's going to be, some people are going to be very excited because they're already envisioning the new system working really great. So I feel like have patience with people on Monday, because they might be trying to like, duct tape the old payment processor system. And you're like, bro, let it go. Like the new equipment's here. We got the install person to put the software in to teach you how it goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Monday, and then people kind of get into their feelings about it. Like there's a lot of new feelings about the new system, the new government, the new boss, the new paradigmatic shift. Like there's a lot of new feelings about it. So Monday is like a very like every now it's gonna be putting the shaking out the purse and putting everything back in again, or emptying out the dollhouse and then like rearranging all the furniture inside. Like it's this Mars and Virgo, this new little assignment after having like a 6 month long like reassignment of figuring out, oh my God, I have to stop, reverse all my momentum, and realizing that because we came out of 6 or 7 months of realizing that the road that we've been going down for quite some time, to stop, turn around, go all the way back, take a new, different direction, and then start on that direction. That was the last like 6 or 7 months. Very, very frustrating. And it's like, for people to learn how to act differently, behave differently, show up to something differently, that's a painful turnaround. So Monday for some people is going to be like a peak frustration. Some people are going to be just like peak tweakage, that they didn't really get it over the last 6 months of how to adapt, because it's not the strongest or the smartest that survive, it's those that can adapt the best. So Monday's the day where it's you can either adapt. I mean, there's honestly like a lot of momentum already. So, like I said, some people are going to be at like a peak anxiety, a peak frustration, a peak freaking out. But that's because of cognitive dissonance or escape. This is because of either cognitive dissonance, escapism, drugs, alcohol, delusion, fantasy, or some other fogginess that's just blunted someone's perception, like a coddling, like when you shelter somebody, when you shelter someone from the reality of their consequences and they just don't have any kind of like real perception of anything. And then they just crash down hard in some way. You know what I mean? Like something just, so it's like there's that. And then there's people that have maybe you've been trying to, get something going the past 6 months. Maybe you've been just having to, I lost my best friend. We have another comrade that had a passing. So, it's just people have been going through things. So it's like, Monday people will have this like last straw to them where they're like, I know what I need to do now. And I just need to do it. But for other people, it's going to be like their worst nightmare. So it's like you just remember everything you've learned over the past 6 or 7 months. Mars and Leo, Mars and Cancer. And with those 3 oppositions to Pluto during that retrograde, and then the Venus retrograde, the past few months, like this year in 2025, being a direct response to like a reevaluation of the values, or reevaluating the price of an asset or the value of an asset, or whatever that had to be in response to that. So it's just been, and then the 2 retrogrades, it's just been a whole big, deep freaking psychic surgery bit. It's just been a big turnaround. I just want to really emphasize that for you. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, willkommen. This is what we all went through the past 6 or 7 months, is astrologically notably significant. It's kind of rare to me. I had never seen that really before. I definitely don't remember ever living through anything like that. So, have, like I said, compassion, empathy, understanding, but at the same time, this is your last stand. With Mars and Leo, this is about your artistic expression, your healthy, functioning ego, your vitality, your identity, your drive to protect, defend, or put a boundary around, or otherwise be a warrior, an advocate for to go out and get or to protect and defend this Leo area of your life, which is ruled by the heart and the heart space. But because of the retrograde, something is very new and a new different feature to how you act, how you show up, how you behave had to be leveled up and transformed. And that's what you learned last week. So this is Monday's gonna be like the big, like, what did you make of all that? Right? Like, what did we learn? So it's like, so I just see Monday as being a very important day to like act and physically do something to bring resolution and healing to something that could have been as going back as far as September. For some people, doesn't have to be like that with that much history. But just know that people are just going to feel a very, very big difference going from Monday to Tuesday. Like there could even be, this is a week where, especially between Monday and Tuesday, there's just no putting the genie back in the bottle. Let me just put it that way. So I'm excited. I mean, I just love interesting energy like this. So we'll see what that peak Martian energy is expressing through you as an individual. Just like as a heads up, this is all acting very different on the collective level. Just keep in mind that it was the day that Mars entered the new sign after it had left the sign that it went retrograde in when we had the January 6th capital insurrection thing. That was the Mars retrograde in Aries of like 2020 going into 2021. I think. And then when Mars entered the sign of the bull, entered Taurus, is when that happened. So people will be at either, like I said, a peak frustration or a peak, I just can't stand this anymore. I have to change. I have to do something different. I have to go after something. I have to protect something. I have to defend something. I have to, and it's like, but Monday's the day. Monday's the day. So I feel like also because Mars retrograde is like a wounded masculine energy, I kind of like Monday for chemistry, feeling like you've got not really the groove, that's like the Venus that we went through. This would be like the man version of that, like the virility, very masculine. Okay, Tuesday the 17th of June at 1:35 is when Mars goes into Virgo. Listen, Tuesday, people are going to need to get their bearings. First day of Mars in a new different sign and new different vibe. And once Mars does enter into the sign of Virgo, by the end of the week, they're going to be quincunxing Saturn and Neptune. So it's almost like, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. And genie not going back in the bottle. This is what someone's decided. This is what's been sent to legal. This is what's been authorized to spend. This is what's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so now we're on the new track by Tuesday. Tuesday is a new doing, new focus, but people will need to get their bearings because it's almost like getting used to a new government, if there's a new paradigmatic shift happening in your life, you are getting used to whatever the nuts and bolts of that looks like. If it's a new work schedule, a new routine, a new eating plan, a new health regimen. So just keep in mind that Tuesday could be a great day to build out the fantasy of what that could look like for you. So if you do have to change your eating habits, if you do have to change, I would use Tuesday because we're also going to have the moon in Pisces. So it would be a great time to connect, plan, ideate, get really creative, or rest, take naps, and just go with the flow on Tuesday because just the circumstances and you listening to your intuition, you could get some really great downloads about this shift. Wednesday, the 18th of June. It's a shit show. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's someone's birthday. So that's why I made a joke. At 12:18. Okay, so right in the smack middle of the day is when we have the quarter moon. So that's when we have the waning, losing in light quarter moon, where the moon squares the sun. Basically, and there's a lot happening on Wednesday. Wednesday actually does look really fun and exciting, and a lot of the new vibration, though, a lot of the new, very, very brave new world. So on Wednesday, this is more like acceptance. So I feel like by Wednesday, people might need to like talk to their therapist. My worst fear, it came true. Cry it out, process something, go to their therapist. My permit came through and I'm so over the moon excited. I can't wait to get started and blah blah blah. So it's like whatever it is, like yay. I've been working so hard the last 6 or 7 months and now I'm going to be able to do something. Or oh no, something's been upsetting me the last 6 or 7 months and it got even worse. And now I'm really like, needing support, needing help and stuff. So make sure to do whatever you need to do Wednesday to close out, resolve emotionally or psychologically, whatever you need to. And some of you, it's just purely organizational and you're just touching base with the like departments or the authorities. Something about the circumstances are just showing you so much more to the story. And some of you overnight from Tuesday night to Wednesday night could have very prophetic dreams or some kind of premonition in the very early morning hours of Wednesday. Thursday, the 19th of June, this is why I say people might be kind of like pissy or having some kind of. Okay, so Mars enters Virgo Monday night going into Tuesday morning. On Thursday, the 19th, Mars perfects in their quincunx to Saturn. So all week, we are setting ourselves on the new track. That was the Mars retrograde, like the train's on the little track. And it was about taking that train, putting in a whole new different, Gomez Adams's train set and putting it on a whole new track in a whole new little atmosphere. That's how big of a shift we're going through. Because this paradigmatic shift is like decades. This is not a little thing. This is a pretty big thing. Okay. So on Thursday, there's like these so all week, but it perfects on Thursday. There's these long-term decisions that we're making. These are long-term track changes. And like I said, people are either going to be super pissy all week, critical, nervous, terrible anxiety, like an edginess that may get like worse and worse, or people are very busy and they're detail oriented. All of a sudden, there's so much to do. All of a sudden, we have to play catch up, but we just started. How are we already behind? It's like something is very motivating to maybe learn like a new skill or something to that effect. But because it's a quincunx, people are just they're gonna use that detail to nitpick they might just feel very out of sorts, or they're going to be very critical. There was someone that I negotiated with when I was in LA doing the TV theatrical negotiations. There was this actor on the negotiating committee, and he's like an Aries Sun Virgo ascendant, some kind of Virgo Aries combination. And this is what we have on Thursday: Mars and Virgo quincunxing, forming a weird little geometric angle to the source of energy, Saturn and Aries. And this man is an Aries and I believe a Virgo ascendant. Same similar energy combination. He was great at arguing and debating and finding like the verbiage and like the wording and the turns of phrases. And the lawyers would like send over things, like we just send things back and forth, our lawyers and their lawyers and their lawyers and our lawyers. Well, it was actually just lawyers. Like we were only ever negotiating with lawyers at the studios. But anyway, they would send stuff back. And this man would get apart, like really get so granular. And so that's the energy, is like going through with like some kind of fine-tooth comb. But here's the thing, and this is why people are going to be a little bit pissy. The next day is an energy that says, you're not going to get the clarification, or you're not going to get the thing on time, or you're not going to, there's part of this energy that requires a commitment to this long-term paradigmatic shift, but that people may be either uncomfortable with an authority, uncomfortable with a new system, new government. This could even just be people having a difficult time adapting to a new system, especially if it's like an operating system or some kind of, software or something like that. Personally, and I'm just a writer, so, but like I would use Thursday for that kind of exacting work to like go through history or analyze your, find something where you really do have to be like, where you're reading and learning and cataloging and organizing and preparing, and just be very open-minded to doing it in a new way, in a new system, in a different room of the building with a new person. Whatever, there might be a little bit of a frictive element to it, but just go with it. Friday, the 20th of June, we have the summer solstice, the moon. Okay, here's what's interesting. So the moon and the sun are going to sextile from Aries to Gemini, but then they will both move into new signs and continue that sextile sort of loosely when the moon enters Taurus and the sun enters Cancer. So Friday, Mars will also make an uncomfortable angle, geometric connection, the quincunx to Neptune. This is why I'm saying on Thursday, so people could be pissy on like Thursday and Friday if they've been having the really bad anxiety and not really addressing it. Maybe people have been bypassing problems the last 6 or 7 months, and now, it gets more and more unavoidable and more like in your face. If you don't deal with it, if you don't learn the lesson, it just gets like louder and stronger. So anyway, but on Friday, there's a beautiful, like there is some comfort to Friday. Like Friday, but it's okay, here's what it is. It's a new comfort. That's what it is. It's like, the comfort of Friday is like you're moving, the company moves into a new building and you have your favorite lounge chair, your favorite spot in the commissary. This is, or you have your new favorite mug in the break room, or it's like that. So it's like a comfort or a new friend that you make starting your new job. It's comforting, but it's from the new vibration. So it's not just, we're kind of still wrapping things up on Friday, wrapping up the past so that we can really be present in this new vibration and like, be fully present for it. Now the Mars Neptune, if people are really pissy on Thursday, and if they're trying to do the fine tooth comb and trying to be really exact or precise or pedantic, on Friday, the Mars Neptune could be the reason why they're pissy, because they're not getting the answers at the end of this week. The Mars Neptune, this is like the COVID vaccine. Remember when the COVID vaccine came out, people were like, we don't even know anything. And what about the potential negative long-term consequences to this stuff? Like, but taking it anyway, and like hoping for the best, hoping you don't turn into a frog, hoping you don't die, hoping it doesn't make you infertile, hoping it doesn't make you lose your sense of taste. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Mars Neptune is having to kind of like go with something, and you wanted more time to test it, but there's no test time. Or you wanted more data, but you're out of time, there's no more data. Or you wanted a guarantee and you can't have the guarantee. Or you wanted, you know what I'm saying? It's like you want the exacting, you want something that you can really pin down, but there might be either a delay to that, or you just gotta like go with it. Now, some people are going to be very inspired instead with this Mars Neptune. They're going to be, give me the damn thing. Like, just give me the thing. I believe I'm okay. I believe in my life. I believe in synchronicity. This must be the next best thing for me right here, right now. Otherwise, I can't do X, Y, Z. So just give it to me. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. And just, let me move on. So some people are going to be spiraling in fear with that Mars. See, this Mars Virgo energy, Mars is going to eventually cross the South Node. So we'll talk about it later. I don't want to be jumping around all over the place. Okay, so we're still in Friday. Still on Friday, and I like it. Saturday could feel a little bit heavy for some people, only because of Sunday. So it's either going to be that Saturday is like restful and recuperative and healing and creative and emotional and spiritual and comforting and comfortable. Some of you are maybe tense because you're not comfortable in the new comfort, and it's got this air of like responsibility and like this unavoidable, the bill comes due. That's what it's like. It's like something has been going on in the background the last 6 or 7 months that you've been trying to bypass or avoid or slink out of or get rid of or change in the way, force it the way you want it to go, that's more comfortable or beneficial for you. But now the bill comes due, it's all stopped up, and now you have to like face the music or do the thing, or you know what I'm saying? So it's got this like so Saturday could be a little bit of a downer. And if that's like, there may be some codependency on Saturday. It just depends on what people are doing with their lives. But if there's anyone that's really like emotionally insecure over the weekend, it's because of a lack of confidence in the future, a lack of sincere confidence. You can't look at them and say, you can do it. Like, they're not going to get it. They're not going to believe that. You know what I mean? This is something a little like way, way, way deeper, because it should have been over the past 6 or 7 months that we turned ourselves around. So this is like, if people are, I just wouldn't push people. If people can't do something, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say just beware of like the codependency, because they might, it might not help. It might help, but has it been helping the last 6 or 7 months is a good maybe like barometer. Sunday has a lot of either forced flexibility or it's like either the forced flexibility or being really excited to try the next level, to try to step it up, to try to innovate, to try to bring more or be more or have more or do more or feel more. Like this earthly experience, which if you are here on the YouTube, if you are here on the YouTube, hello, welcome, willkommen. I'm Natalie, and I'm talking to you guys about the astrology. I do tarot readings here later in the week. There's tons of both of that content in my various playlists, but these are just to rope you into energy mastery. I'm kidding. It's to hopefully use astrology and tarot as some kind of gateway to self-realization as an energy master. If anyone's interested in astral projection, lucid dreaming, telekinesis, we do a lot of that on Patreon, on TikTok, telekinesis documentary coming out next year, 2026. And I say all of this because this earthly experience, your consciousness has fused with the nervous system of your human body, and self-realization, the energy mastery of which I speak, is the education that teaches you how to separate, decenter your consciousness from your nervous system of the physical body. And you can accomplish things like lucid dreaming, astral projection, telekinesis, and remote viewing. That's why I say all of this. And this density, the Earth School, is the best suited because it's a hologram. Spoiler alert, this is all a bunch of holograms. The Earth School is the best place for creators, for people that want to engage life, for people that are here to try and figure it out, for people that want to know how reality works. This is the best place for that, like Earth, in the Earth School. So this week and this whole summer, before we get to eclipse season in the fall of 2025, this whole summer and this Neptune, Saturn and Aries energy is very ideal for people that have that spirit in them, that it's no fate but what they make, to go out and really try and really, but they believe in themselves to go out and do it. So Sunday, it's a new responsibility. It's a new paradigmatic shift. It's a new government. It's a new boss at work. It's a new whatever. And whatever the new situation or the new state, the new normal is for you, it requires more creativity, more emotion, more soul, more feeling, more empathy, more sensitivity to elevate you to the next level. And in some cases, there's new beliefs that are being discussed on Sunday, or there's like a reflection of how someone's beliefs have changed. And it could even be, if it's more internal, it's like knowing why you're doing something, knowing why you're on this new track, knowing why, knowing what you're working towards. So for some of you, this is like, I'm going to take on I'm transitioning into some new big project that's going to be the next couple of years or something. Sunday, as you kind of end the day on Sunday, Sunday's a lot about preparing for Monday. Sunday's a lot about preparing for next week and preparing for July. That's why I'm saying like the weekend can feel kind of heavy for some people, but for other people, it's like gearing up to do something that you've been wanting to do, or that you've been trying to do, or maybe to do something, but like not maybe in the way that you thought you were going to do it, or, like there may be still something like new and different to get used to, but you still get to do it, but it's just going to be a little bit different after having had to go through the retrogrades. So a lot of Sundays either going to be, like I said, that forced flexibility, or you're going to be so excited planning your outfit for Monday. Like, oh, I get to show up to this thing. I get to do this, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And so it's like very different experiences this week with the spiritual split. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I do a whole other separate weekly for the energy masters and leaders over on the Patreon. Try that link in the description box below. You can also avail a reading with me if you would like. With our one-to-one Zoom sessions, I always recommend that you guys record it. I give you the option to record, and then I send you guys the link or the file so that you can play it back later for your records. To see live in-person telekinesis demonstrations or possibly be featured in the upcoming documentary, make sure you are following me here on the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram for an entry into the raffle. It's going to be a fantastic week this week. Be excited for the next phase of this grand transition, and I will see you guys later this week. Until then, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful 𝚑𝚘𝚎𝚘𝚎. Mwah.